Young and Restless early spoilers November 3rd to 7th. Kyle's risky pact and Billy's ruthless probe. As we always do on early edition day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week, and then dive into what is coming next week. Young and the Restless spoilers. Jack and Bill ready for war. On Wednesday, October 29th, we've got Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, telling Billy that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, stole Kane Ashby's Billy Flynn, AI, and Jack thinks that Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, helped him do it. Jack wants Billy to try and shake some information out of Phyllis, but Billy says she won't tell him if she is working with Victor. Billy actually thinks Jack may stand a better chance of getting info from Phyllis, but he disagrees. Jack vows to make Phyllis pay if she is part of this, and if she is helping Victor target Jabot. Billy is absolutely in agreement with Jack on all of this. Then his brother notices bruises on Billy's knuckles, and he admits that he punched Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. Jack agrees that fighting the Newmans right now is fine, and they need to come at them hard. Young and the Restless spoilers. Billy seeks out Phyllis. Billy goes to find Phyllis to ask her some tough questions. But first, Kane is with Phyllis and says that he thinks she's playing him when she keeps insisting that Victor is going to target Arabesque with the AI that he stole because she's a lying liar. Kane asks why Victor wouldn't go after Jack and Jabot. And Phyllis says it's because Kane is to blame for Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, getting hurt in France. Phyllis gets upset when Kane says he warned Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, and Jack about the stolen AI. And Kane also wants to know why Phyllis is upset that he warned the Abbotts. She insists that Damien can trust her. He thinks Phyllis is trying to keep him off balance and distract him while she stabs him in the back. However, Kane is also kind of flirty with Phyllis and calls her fascinating, but I don't know if he's being sincere or if he's playing with her because he knows she stole his AI. Newman family crisis. Nick's accident investigation deepens. Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, and Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, are at the hospital and Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, wants to take them in so Noah Newman, Lucas Adams can hear their voices. Nick, meanwhile, is not happy with the investigation into the crash, and he wants to talk to Sienna. So Sharon tells Nick, go dig into it. And then Sharon tells Nikki and Victoria how awful it is to be in this same position with another child traumatized by a car crash, and they comfort her. Kyle asked Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, to tell him all about Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. She will, but first she wants an update on Noah. Sienna says that Noah was in her club doing research about opening his club in LA, and her husband Mitch was considering investing. And she says that Nick has already come to see her about the wreck. Sienna says that Noah was there the night of the crash, and Kyle is wondering if it is foul play. Who would go after Noah? Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick grills Sienna. Then Nick shows up, and Sienna speaks to him alone. She says that nothing was off in the club, or strange the night that Noah was injured. Nick wants to speak with her staff, and he's also shocked to find out from Sienna that the police did not talk to her at all. Nick thinks she's holding back. He's completely mistrusting her, and Sienna says he can talk to her staff tomorrow. It's too busy right now and they're understaffed. But then Nick accuses Sienna of being up to something and trying to buy time to talk to her staff and get all their stories straight on Young and the Restless. And then Nick starts implying that Sienna must have been interested in Noah, but she says, look, I'm married. Nick's main exercise has always been jumping to conclusions, and he's not exactly the brightest crayon in the box, you know. Also, Kyle makes a deal with her. Sienna will tell him about Audra and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, if Kyle agrees to look into Noah's accident. November sweeps kick off with alliances and betrayals. On Thursday, October 30th, it is the official kickoff of November sweeps on Young and the Restless, and we've got Jack stepping up to protect his family and protect Jabot and their legacy. And obviously they're concerned about Victor, the AI program, and also Phyllis. Meanwhile, Billy and Phyllis swap some info. And of course, Billy and Jack are working together to try and figure out if Phyllis is involved and who she's working with, and whether she might help them since she's a super-duper hacker. Jack and Billy definitely want Phyllis on their side. And I wonder if she'd tell Billy, Jason Thompson, that she stole Kane's AI and gave it to Victor, but is tricking him, or if she's going to lie to them the same way she's lying to Kane. Young and the Restless spoilers. Victor reaches out to Michael. Victor offers Michael Baldwin, Christian Jules LeBlanc, another chance to get back into his good graces. I assume that Victor wants Michael back as his fixer while he's using the AI because Victor knows he might have some legal problems come out of this. On Friday, October 31st, we've got Holden seeing Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, in a whole new way. I wonder if she's going to do up all sexy for Halloween. We have scenes soon with Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth. He is Sienna's hubby, the Shadow Lounge manager, of course, who's a friend of Holden. So, we may get him at the end of this week, or it may be in next week when things kick up into high gear because of sweeps. Upcoming YandR spoilers, danger, deals, and a slow recovery. So Kyle is going above and beyond for Harrison Locke, Redding Munsell, on Friday. I do wonder if Kyle jets back to Genoa City just to go trick-or-treating with his kid, and then turns around and goes back to LA, so he can follow through on this deal with Sienna. He's desperate to discredit Audra. And if he can get some info on Holden as well, that would be great. And Kyle may try and convince Claire to come for Halloween with Harrison. But I don't think she's going to miss Halloween in Los Angeles. Sharon's quest for answers about Noah's accident leads her into danger by the end of this week. And then heading into next week, November 3rd through the 7th, it is the first full week of November sweeps. So, big stuff building up. Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, has faith in Audra, but what Kyle uncovers about Audra could hurt Sally and AbbottCom. I'm starting to wonder if that company is ever going to launch. Young and the Restless spoilers, Noah, Mitch, and Sienna in Genoa City soon. Sharon and Nick are both heading into danger soon as they chase leads about Noah's crash. Kane is fighting to get his AI back. He wants to redeem himself in the eyes of his kids and get Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, forgiveness. And he's also trying to fight that temptation that is Phyllis. Victoria and Nikki can't stay in Los Angeles too long because of the AI crisis, and they're needed at Newman Enterprises. But pretty soon the Newmans are going to bring Noah back to Genoa City to finish recuperating. Noah's recovery is going to be slow, but he is up and fine, walking and talking before Christmas. I've seen behind-the-scenes pictures. You can see them here where Noah is on the set. He's at Crimson Lights, and see the Christmas decor. So he's going to be just fine. And it looks like Mitch and Sienna may actually relocate to Genoa City, at least for life with secrets, stakes, and shattering choices as the week began. At the heart of every twisted alliance and ruthless confrontation was Kyle Abbott, torn between legacy and temptation, and Billy Abbott, whose obsession with the truth threatened to drag everyone down with him. Monday, a pact with shadows. The week opens with Kyle pacing in his penthouse, the weight of last week's decisions still heavy on his shoulders. Between whispers of a risky pact with a mysterious investor and the looming threat of corporate ruin for Abbott's brand, Kyle feels cornered. His phone buzzes, a cryptic message. Meet me tonight. No lawyers. Across town, Billy sifts through documents in his apartment, half-empty boxes of evidence piled high. His once firm relationship with Mackenzie is strained. She fears the mission consuming him will destroy everything they've built. But Billy's eyes stay locked on a photocopied contract. Could this be the smoking gun that exposes more than just corporate corruption? At the appointed time, Kyle arrives at an upscale but shadowy lounge. A woman in a sleek black suit stands waiting, Vivian Dumont, an international financier with a reputation for rescuing empires, for a price. Vivian's offer is bold. She'll infuse Abbott's unlimited with capital and a global platform, but she wants equity and control over the brand's direction. Kyle knows selling the soul of his father's legacy will tear his family apart. Still, faced with the brutal real possibility of bankruptcy, he agrees to negotiate terms, sealing his fate when he shakes her hand. What Kyle doesn't know? Vivian has her own agenda, and she whispered something chilling as they parted. This is only the beginning. Tuesday, Billy's ruthless probe. Billy's world is a blur of law books, contracts, and late-night calls. His probe into a potential corporate conspiracy within Jabot has hit a wall, until a surprise knock cracks the case wide open. Standing at his door is Devin Hamilton, concerned, frustrated, and armed with code-locked USB drives that point to irregular financial transfers between Jabot subsidiaries and an unregistered offshore account. Devin's voice trembles. This is bigger than we thought, Billy. Billy's heart thumps. This isn't just about shady bookkeeping. It's evidence of illegal funneling of funds. He eyes the USB drives like their treasure, but something else stirs in him. Doubt. Whose side is this really on? And will pursuing this cost him his career, or his freedom? Later, in Jabot's sleek boardroom, Billy confronts Jack Abbott. What starts as a calm discussion escalates into an explosive showdown when Billy accuses Jack of covering up the financial irregularities. Jack, blindsided, demands proof. Billy places the USB drives on the table. This is what we're dealing with. Jack's jaw tightens. You think I orchestrated this? I built this company with my blood. Billy stands firm. I didn't come this far to look the other way. But just as Jack leans forward, the office doors open, and in walks Phyllis Summers with a stack of files that could either bury the truth or bury Billy. Wednesday, a betrayal unmasked. Midweek, Genoa City feels like a pressure cooker ready to explode. Kyle's uneasy alliance with Vivian begins to show cracks as she demands immediate executive decisions that clash with family values. On Monday night, she told him, "No approval necessary. Consider yourself empowered." Now she wants Kyle to replace a beloved longtime designer with an international star whose only real talent is brand viral appeal. At home, Kyle's siblings, Jack and Adam, voice sharp concerns. Adam's skepticism borders on accusation. "You sold out, Kyle. And you didn't even read what you signed." Kyle burns with defensiveness and doubt. Meanwhile, Billy's probe accelerates. He recruits Lily Winters for help decrypting the files found by Devon. They work through the night, tension high, chemistry undeniable, uncovering evidence that points toward deliberate concealment of losses possibly tied to offshore shell accounts. Lily hesitates. "Billy, are you ready for what this might bring?" Billy gazes at the screen. The truth matters more than everyone's comfort. By noon, Billy calls an urgent meeting with Jabot's board, including Devon and Phyllis. He lays out the findings, revealing a complex web of transactions meant to shield assets during litigation and hostile takeovers. Gasps ripple through the room. And then Phyllis drops a bombshell. Victor Newman's company was involved in the transfer negotiations. Silence. Jack explodes. "Phyllis, you should have told us sooner." Phyllis looks down, guilt shadowing her eyes. "I barely remembered until I found these documents." Billy stares at Victor's name on the financial sheet. This is bigger than a corporate scandal. This is war. Thursday, crossroads and consequences. At Sharon's place, Billy and Lily regroup. Billy's determination has crossed into obsession, and Lily worries about his well-being. They argue, not about the truth, but how much they're willing to risk for it. "You're burning every bridge," Lily says with tears in her eyes. Billy pauses, pained. "I'm trying to do the right thing." She reaches for his hand. "But what if the right thing destroys you?" Across town, Kyle faces his own crossroads. Vivian's deal has brought media attention, but scandal follows when rumors of outsourcing and creative erosion hit the press. Kyle scrambles to contain the backlash while his siblings mobilize to counteract the damage. At Jabot, Victor walks in like a storm, confronting Billy. "You have no idea the forces you're poking at," Victor warns, voice low. Billy holds his ground. "I'm done playing games." Victor smirks. "You'll regret that." Then he turns, leaving Billy rattled but resolute, and now painfully aware that what he thought was corporate corruption might be personal vendetta. Friday, truth or devastation. The week screams toward an explosive finish as Kyle calls a family council at the Abbott estate. Jack and Adam are raw with anger. Tracy steps in as mediator with a stern ultimatum. Kyle must choose between family control and Vivian's dangerous influence, and right now. As Kyle opens his mouth to speak, his phone buzzes. A news alert. Vivian announces an expanded international partnership with Abbott's Unlimited, without Kyle's consent. Gasps. Betrayal. Kyle pales. Meanwhile, Billy's investigation reaches a critical point. The decrypted files reveal a scheduled unauthorized transfer of millions tied to Victor's shell accounts. Set to clear Friday at 5 p.m. Billy knows this is his chance to prove wrongdoing, but only if he can stop it in time. At the Jabot server room, Billy and Devon race against the clock. Fingers fly across keyboards. Beeps flash warnings. And then, access denied. Billy breathes, sees one last access point, and makes a choice that could end his career or make his legacy. He hits enter, launching evidence directly to federal investigators. Seconds later, Devon gasps. The system locks down, but the files are already sent. Billy stares at the confirmation screen, relief and terror tangled in his expression. Meanwhile, at the Abbott estate, Kyle stands before his family. Decision made. "I walked into a deal I didn't fully understand," he admits, voice steady. "I lost sight of what matters. The brand my dad built, and the family that made it, means more than any global market." He looks at Vivian's termination notice about to become a battlefield. And this time, the war isn't being waged by the Newmans. Instead, the storm is brewing inside the Abbott family itself, as Jack Abbott and Billy Abbott stand on opposite sides of a growing corporate and personal divide. What started as tension beneath the surface is now exploding into a full-blown conflict that could destroy Jabot, shatter family loyalties, and leave lasting scars that may never heal. At the heart of it all is betrayal, the kind that cuts deepest when it comes from blood. Jack Abbott draws a line in the sand. Jack Abbott has always believed in legacy. Jabot isn't just a company to him. It's his father's dream, his life's work, and the symbol of everything the Abbott family stands for. Recently, Jack has been fighting harder than ever to protect Jabot from external threats, particularly Victor Newman's relentless power plays. But Jack never imagined the biggest threat would come from his own brother. Behind closed doors, Jack senses something is off. Financial discrepancies, rogue meetings, whispers of secret alliances. The more Jack digs, the clearer it becomes. Billy is hiding something big. Jack's instincts, honed by decades of corporate warfare, are screaming at him. And when Jack Abbott's instincts kick in, he doesn't hesitate. Sources tease that Jack will soon confront Billy, not with anger at first, but with disappointment. He'll give Billy a chance to come clean, hoping, perhaps foolishly, that family loyalty still means something. But Billy's reaction won't be remorse. It'll be defiance. Billy Abbott goes rogue. Billy Abbott has spent his entire life living in Jack's shadow. No matter how many times Billy proves himself, he's still treated as the reckless younger brother, the screw-up who needs supervision. And Billy is done with that narrative. Behind Jack's back, Billy has been quietly assembling his own power base. Whether it's secret investors, a shadow company, or even an uneasy alliance with a Newman rival, Billy is positioning himself to strike. He believes Jack is holding him back, clinging to outdated values while Genoa City evolves. Billy doesn't see himself as the villain. He sees himself as the future. When Jack demands answers, Billy won't deny the truth, but he won't apologize either. In fact, spoilers hint Billy may throw Jack's past mistakes right back in his face, accusing him of hypocrisy and control. Years of resentment will pour out in a confrontation that turns explosive fast. This isn't just business. This is personal. The Abbott family caught in the crossfire. As Jack and Billy prepare for war, the rest of the Abbott family will be forced to choose sides. And that's where things get truly messy. Ashley Abbott, returning with her usual mix of logic and sharp insight, won't be fooled by Billy's justifications. She'll warn him that burning bridges inside the family is a mistake he can't undo. But Ashley also won't blindly support Jack, especially if she suspects Jack pushed Billy too far. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott will find himself torn between loyalty to his father and sympathy for his uncle. Kyle understands Billy's frustration more than Jack realizes, and that empathy could make Kyle a wild card in the coming conflict. If Kyle even hints at siding with Billy, it could devastate Jack and push him into full war mode. Phyllis fans the flames. No Abbott war would be complete without Phyllis Summers, and spoilers suggest she may play a dangerous role in escalating the conflict. Phyllis thrives in chaos, and she knows exactly how to manipulate Jack's fears and Billy's insecurities. Whether she's feeding Jack selective information or subtly encouraging Billy to take bigger risks, Phyllis will be stirring the pot behind the scenes. And if Phyllis believes Billy's plan could hurt Diane or threaten Jack's stability, she won't hesitate to push Jack toward ruthless retaliation. Phyllis doesn't just want Jack to win. She wants Billy destroyed. Victor Newman watches and waits. Of course, Victor Newman won't miss an Abbott civil war. In fact, spoilers hint Victor may have anticipated it. As Jack and Billy weaken each other, Victor will quietly circle like a shark, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Whether he offers Billy a tempting alliance or uses insider intel to destabilize Jabot, Victor will see this war as an opportunity too good to pass up. And if Billy accepts Victor's help, even secretly, it would be the ultimate betrayal. Jack would never forgive that. The point of no return. As tensions rise, one shocking move will push Jack and Billy past the point of reconciliation. Insiders tease a hostile corporate maneuver, possibly Billy attempting a takeover, leaking damaging information, or sabotaging a major deal. That leaves Jack blindsided and furious. This is where Jack stops seeing Billy as his brother and starts seeing him as an enemy. Jack's response won't be emotional, it'll be strategic. Calculated. Cold. He'll unleash every legal, financial, and personal weapon at his disposal, determined to protect Jabot and crush Billy's rebellion once and for all. But Billy won't back down. He's ready for war. Fallout that will change Genoa City forever. By the time the dust settles, nothing at Jabot, or within the Abbott family, will ever be the same. Relationships will be shattered. Trust will be broken. And one Abbott may walk away with power, while the other is left with nothing. The real tragedy? This war was preventable. But in Genoa City, pride is deadly. And when brothers stop listening and start fighting, destruction is inevitable. When Billy Abbott goes looking for Phyllis Summers, it's never for anything simple. And it's never without consequences. According to Explosive Young and the Restless spoilers, Billy's next move sends shockwaves through multiple families as he deliberately seeks out Phyllis, reopening a volatile connection that could change everything. Billy isn't just acting on impulse this time. He's calculated, wounded, and dangerously motivated. And Phyllis? She's exactly the kind of chaos he needs. Billy's breaking point pushes him toward Phyllis. Billy Abbott has reached a crossroads. His tension with Jack continues to simmer, his professional ambitions are stalled, and his personal life feels like one long list of losses. Chelsea is a closed chapter. Lily is slipping further away, and Victor Newman's shadow looms larger than ever. Billy feels boxed in, and when Billy feels trapped, he lashes out. That's when Phyllis Summers enters his mind. Phyllis represents rebellion, unpredictability, and above all, shared resentment. She knows what it's like to feel betrayed by family, undermined by power players, and dismissed as a liability. Billy doesn't seek Phyllis for comfort. He seeks her because she understands the hunger for revenge. When Billy shows up unannounced, Phyllis instantly knows something is wrong. Billy doesn't just drop by, unless he's ready to burn bridges. Phyllis sees opportunity and danger. Phyllis has been laying low lately, but make no mistake, she's never truly out of the game. Billy's sudden interest sparks her instincts immediately. She listens closely as Billy vents about Jack, Victor, and the way he's been shut out of decisions that affect his future. Phyllis doesn't interrupt. She lets Billy talk himself into revealing just how desperate he feels. And that desperation is exactly what she feeds on. She sees two things clearly. Billy is unstable. Billy is useful. Phyllis knows aligning with Billy could give her leverage she's been missing. But she also knows Billy is reckless, and reckless men drag everyone down with them. Still, Phyllis has never been afraid of danger. A pact born from anger. According to spoilers, the conversation takes a dark turn when Billy hints that he's ready to expose secrets. Secrets that could hurt Jack, destabilize Chancellor Winters, and even shake Newman Enterprises. He doesn't lay out a full plan, but Phyllis doesn't need details to understand the direction. This isn't about justice. This is about payback. Phyllis begins filling in the blanks with her own intel, whispered rumors, half-buried scandals, and unfinished vendettas she's been storing away. Together, Billy and Phyllis realize something terrifyingly simple. They're stronger together than they are apart. And once they realize that, there's no turning back. Jack senses trouble too late. Jack Abbott may not know the specifics, but he feels the shift. Billy's sudden calm, his guarded answers, and his refusal to engage in family drama all point to one thing. Billy is plotting something big. Jack's biggest fear? That Phyllis is involved. Jack knows firsthand what happens when Billy and Phyllis team up. They feed each other's worst instincts, escalating conflicts until fallout becomes unavoidable. Jack tries to intervene, but Billy shuts him out completely, accusing him of control and hypocrisy. This brotherly fracture deepens the moment Jack realizes Billy isn't just rebelling. He's preparing for war. Lily gets caught in the crossfire. Meanwhile, Lily Winters begins to sense that Billy is slipping away again. His emotional walls are back up, and his focus is scattered. When Lily confronts him, Billy dodges her questions. But Lily is far too sharp to ignore the signs. Spoilers suggest Lily eventually learns that Billy has reconnected with Phyllis, and the revelation hits her hard. Phyllis represents everything Lily fears Billy becoming again, reckless, obsessive, and destructive. Lily issues a warning. If Billy goes down this path, he does it without her. And that ultimatum may only push Billy further toward Phyllis. Victor Newman smells blood in the water. Victor Newman is never far from chaos, and he quickly picks up on the brewing storm. When whispers reach him about Billy and Phyllis collaborating, Victor isn't alarmed, he's intrigued. Victor sees opportunity where others see danger. If Billy wants to self-destruct, Victor is more than happy to give him the rope. At the same time, Victor quietly prepares countermeasures, knowing Phyllis is capable of surprising even him. This sets the stage for a three-way power struggle, Billy and Phyllis versus Jack and Lily, with Victor pulling strings behind the scenes. Old feelings, new regrets. As Billy and Phyllis spend more time together, unresolved emotions begin to surface. There's chemistry, history, and unfinished business simmering just beneath the surface. But this isn't a romance rekindled by love. It's fueled by anger, validation, and mutual ambition. Phyllis enjoys being the one Billy turns to when everyone else shuts him out. Billy, in turn, feels seen in a way he hasn't in months. But both know how dangerous this emotional entanglement can become. One impulsive moment could change everything, and not for the better. Fallout is inevitable. Young and the Restless spoilers tease that Billy seeking out Phyllis is only the beginning of a storyline packed with betrayals, shocking revelations, and irreversible consequences. Lines will be crossed, trust will be shattered, and more than one relationship may not survive the damage. Billy thinks he's taking control of his destiny, but with Phyllis involved, control is always an illusion. One thing is certain: when Billy Abbott and Phyllis Summers join forces, Genoa City is never the same. And this time, the fallout may be worse than ever.